Good morning. It's Tuesday, the 10th of September 2019. A warm welcome along to the Chapel Hill Marina here in Lincolnshire. And this morning's United Kingdom talk. Hope you like the new opening video there, gang. That's about 3.5, 4 hours work there. Okay, it's about 2 minutes shorter than the last one. So if you're used to having that long intro there, don't get caught out by that, sort of leaving that running on your computer and think, oh, I've got 5 minutes. No, you haven't. You've got about 4 now, sort of 6 instead of 4 instead of 6, all right? So I hope you like that there, boys and girls. Something new for you to look at in the morning. I'm afraid same old face sitting here, very disappointing. Well, here we are, back up in Lincolnshire, as I say. I did very well last night because on the way up here, I managed to drive past the sandwich and crisp petrol stations. I'm very proud of that. Very, very proud. It's not easy. You get into this habit of when you're on the way home, I'll just pop into the petrol garage for a small bag of crisps or sort of like a cheese ploughman sandwich like that. And you get into that habit. And then you keep doing it and the weight goes up and up and up, as you can see in front of you now. I can't get, look, right, don't tell anyone, right? It's our little secret. Here we go, look. Can I do this up? No. Can't even get the button anywhere near the hole anymore, but never mind. It's a start. Yesterday, driving past those garages was a start. Got here right about 20 to 2 last night. A lovely, easy drive up here, to be honest. And I got up here and I had a cup of tea and a pot noodle, which is better than a sandwich and a bag of crisps, I think. Don't know. Perhaps someone can look up the calories or the sins if you're a Slimmers World person on that one. So I sat there and had my pot noodle, and then I went into my bedroom, and guess what? My sister and brother-in-law have been round here and they've put my curtains up in the bedroom. I'm so pleased. They're very, very thick and they really black out the bedroom. Whether or not they are any good sort of stopping some of the noise coming in for when the other family are next door in the other caravan, I don't know. But that remains to be seen. I might have to ask my nephew to borrow his 2 young children to just run around the caravan for 10 minutes and scream, just to test them out. I'll make sure everyone else is out at the time so as not to disturb them. So I might have to try that. Which of course means I owe my sister and brother-in-law yet another meal. I owe them now 3 meals. I owe them 3 meals, and I owe for various different things that they've been doing to me because they won't take money. And my nephew, another one who won't take money, I owe 1 meal to, which was going to be today actually. I happen to know that his wife, Stacey, likes Burger King. You said so. You see, so I was going to take them to Burger King in I think it's Sleaford. I think is the nearest one to us. So I got my nephew Leslie in the afternoon. I said, what sort of timings do you want tomorrow? Because usually I get to my nephew's house around about 7 o'clock at night, which is not too far from here. But they're at school now, so I thought they might want, when children come over from school, they might want their dinner early. But apparently they go swimming first, so they don't get back from the swimming till 7 o'clock anyway. So it'll probably be 7 o'clock at night. So I said, what time do you want us? So he said, 7's all right. We can do you something else. I said, well, no, I owe you a meal. You did a little job for me last week. There's a chimney on here, metal chimney, which ever so slightly moved in the wind, and it would go ping, ping, not loud, just a ding, ding, ding. You can ignore it during the daytime. 4 o'clock in the morning, you can't ignore it. It's like someone, coming on and banging on the door really hard. Is it ding, ding? What's that? Oh, I'll ignore it. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding. Ding, ding. So I then go in the cupboard, which contains the water heater, and I start screwing it like that, thinking that that's going to do something to it. I've already been on the roof once and put some tape around. That's the limit to my DIY skills. Tape. Everything is held up with gaffer tape. The trouble is, of course, it heats up. So the glue eventually sort of disintegrates or whatever happens to it, and it becomes loose again. So he went up on the, got a ladder on what is it called? He's got a rivet thing, a rivet machine. because I put a screw in one side and it keeps coming loose. So he's now put a rivet in, and he says it's solid, but the inside is a bit rusted, so that'll have to be replaced at some point. But I like to give him something for doing that. You know, I don't expect people to do things for nothing, not even family. Although I wouldn't charge them if I was doing like, well, I can't think of any use of anything actually that I could help them with. But yeah, I mean, you know, older person, younger person, you want to give something back. So I said I'd take him out to Burger King. But he said on the phone last night that the particular Burger King we were going on has been in the paper last week because they got rats. So we don't think we're going to go there. So I'm not quite sure where we're going to go to dinner tonight. But that's 4 meals I owe people now. 3 to my brother-in-law and sister. 1 to my nephew. Oh, and an afternoon tea to Dukey Chrissy, who's with us sometimes. Sometimes. I don't know if he's here this morning or not. So an expensive time ahead. Never mind, I've got all these jobs done and that's it. So that's Chris, you know Chris who's often here, also known as the Predator. My sister knows him as the Predator because he's always trying to chat up my nephew. Yeah, I'm trying to chat him up and he's trying to chat up my nephew. It's quite funny really. Although there's no connection, you know, he's seen the picture and he's constantly asking me questions about my nephew and I might leave him alone. He's a straight lad, nice girlfriend. Nice girlfriend, and then he sort of goes off in a bit of a huff. Chris the Predator. That's what we're going to call him now. From now on, Predator Chris. That's not me, though. Don't get confused with me if you don't mind. A lovely karaoke last night, it has to be said. It was a quiet start, very quiet start last night. I don't know where everyone is. And round about 8:45, we had a lot more people other come in. If you were watching the karaoke stream last night, on our brand new dedicated karaoke channel, you would have seen it was quiet last night. You know it's quiet if the same people keep coming round. And I think Ray did 3 songs between 7:30 and about 9 o'clock when he went home. He wasn't feeling too well last night, Ray, but he still entertained us all as he always did fantastically. I think he did 3 songs in the space of like about an hour and a half, an hour and 3/4, something like that, which means there's not too many people in there. Just about enough to get a decent night going. And then more people came in later, so can't complain really. Fantastic atmosphere in there last night, really. Really nice night. One of the best Mondays we've had for some time. And I can only put that down to non-Irish Mary from Ireland, whose funeral was last week. I felt the atmosphere in there last night from her. Oh, absolutely, yeah. I do believe in all this, you know. I don't think you're dying and that's it. I think there's something else. I think part of that is that you're everywhere at all times, if you see what I mean, and you can do things. I'd love, you know, we won't know what we can do when we're dead until we're dead, if you see what I mean, you know? And I felt her in last night and someone came up and says, oh, is this right about Mary, her funeral? Yes, I'm afraid so. And he said, oh, she was such a wonderful woman, you know. She just had to walk in. She just walked in somewhere and she brought this presents with her. You know, presents. And talking about presents, I often got a bar of chocolate off her until I started putting on so much weight and I had to start refusing it. But I did certainly feel her in there last night, so that was lovely. And on the way up here, I listened to Parliament on BBC Radio 5. My God, shouting and screaming and moaning. It was awful. Absolutely awful. They want to go on, and they're on holiday for another 5 weeks now. Paid. It's not a bad gig, is it, really? God knows, what is it, 6 weeks holiday in August, and they've got another 4 or 5 weeks now. Bleed now. Do they do any work whatsoever? I don't know. So I listened to that on Radio 5 last night. What a lot of noise, though. And they were there till very late, weren't they? I think it must have been about 12:30, 1:15, when they eventually finished. Yeah, you couldn't find anything else on the radio other than people talking about Houses of Parliament and all that business. Very boring, really. So that was my day yesterday. All right. Of course, we had a winner for the... I must hide the address here. We had a winner for the... can you see that there? We had a winner of the fridge magnet yesterday, in the show yesterday. Mari Lowe. There you go, Mari. It's in the envelope. Not sealed yet. I've learned to actually put a bit of tape on there as well, because I have a feeling there was one fridge magnet we sent out that didn't get there to Vectis Humphrey on the Isle of Wight. And I have a feeling it probably opened, because that's not particularly... see, a minute. It's one of those what they call do-it-yourself envelopes, and that I can easily look. See, that's just. I reckon it's come apart in the post, and the postman saw it and then threw it away because we would have thought that he'd opened the letter. I reckon that's what's happened there. So I'll put a bit of tape of that, and that'll be in the post to you this afternoon, Mari, when I go past the post box, probably on the way to the swimming pool or something like that. More raffle tickets to give out today. Our next raffle for the fridge magnet. I've got one up here now at last. Oh, don't say I've lost that as well. Where do they go? Oh, there it is on the floor. There it is on the floor. I keep losing these damn things. There we are. You can win one of those. Okay, there's only 50. Only 50 of those made. And the draw for the next one will be next Monday morning, sometime between 8:30 and 10 o'clock in the morning next Monday. You'll need a raffle ticket for those, and we'll be giving out those a little bit later on in the show. The only other way you can get one of these is to buy one for £10,000. Okay, just make your payment to Chris at chrisreardon.co.uk via PayPal, and I shall personally deliver one of these for you with a little photograph and a handshake from me. I'll shake anything you want for £10,000, believe me. Anything, honestly, anything. All right? We had a little bit of a false start this morning, actually. If you were with us right bang on, you would have seen the show start and finish very quickly in the space of about 10 seconds because I'd forgotten to do some stuff. You have to remember to do all sorts of things before I start the show. So that's why there was a bit of a false start. And plus you could hear me. It's a good job I didn't swear, innit? Because I thought I could hear a bit of an echo. Echo. One of those, yeah. Right, let's see who's here today. Good morning to Heidi Oliver. Morning, Heidi. Good morning to Diane Jebb. Mark Bowles is there. A little chat with him on the Facebook last night. Good morning, Mark. Mark is going to be my personal bouncer when I become even more famous and even more international than I am now. I have selected Mark to become my personal bouncer. It's probably going to be, it'll be a good paid job, Mark. You'll be able to bring the family of you on little outings when I'm doing my international tours to all other countries. All expenses paid with your family and all that, your little children and whatever, okay? So I'll look after you, don't worry. Morning to Michael Pullman. Morning, Michael. Hello to Joanna. Good news, Joanna, you haven't missed any singing yet, you lucky thing. Morning, Joanna. Morning to Rachel Wheatland. Ian Hillman, good morning, sir. Liz Hargreaves is in the house. Morning, it's your friend. I'm still looking for a handyman. Have you found one yet for me yet? What is it do you need a job done, Liz? What is it you need doing, darling? Is there a particular job you need doing? I could send my nephew round. Where are you again? He does little handyman job type things. Could send him round to you. Morning to Sean, the older one. Not the younger one, the older one. Good morning to Sean Pye. Morning. Mike Rees-Ponto in the house. Good morning, Mike. Thanks for sending that story, incidentally, yesterday. I read out the story and didn't credit you, so sorry about that. But he sent in the story. Now, what was the story yesterday? About... I can't remember. But he sent in the story yesterday, which we did. Thank you for that, Mike. Sometimes people see news stories. I like funny stories, funny news stories, and they send them through. Sometimes I'll pull them in, and they're usually up in front of me. Sometimes I just don't get to them, I'm glad you like the music there. Glad you like the music. You've got to see, the idea is to find a little bit of music that doesn't appear copywritten. That's the easiest way to do it. I do have permission for the other piece of music somewhere that we were using, but quite frankly, it's easier to change the music to something that they wouldn't look at anyway, rather than, there's the proof of that. And do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's easier to just take the easy route there. So thank you. I'm glad you like the new intro, Rachel and Claire. A very good morning to you, Claire. Yes, new intro there, Claire. Slightly shorter. It's about 1.5 to 2 minutes shorter than the old one, okay? Rachel loves the sound of the Lancaster. Yes, I purposely left the noise of that in. You could just have the music. And, of course, the combine harvester right at the beginning. You may not have... If you're not there right at the beginning, you won't see the combine harvester and a picture of the river. The swans... The picture of the swans is actually from the old one. I managed to take that out and put that back in again. So it's a bit of a mixture with lots of things. The way I do those videos, okay, I'll usually just go out randomly with my phone. You know, I don't have a proper camera. This is what I use to do everything on. Any short clips, anything like that, all done with that, okay? I'll go out literally for days, weeks, months. And now and again I'll see I'll just be, I don't know, walking along or even driving along. Might be driving along and I'll see something. I thought, that would look good in an opening video. Right, and I'll pull over. Out comes the tripod. Don't do any holding unless it's like, you know, moving quickly. Out comes the tripod. I set it up by the side of the road or whatever. And I'll do it. And then I might have, and it will be, I will film a clip much longer than what I will need. For example, those swans, okay, I probably filmed them for about 45 seconds. You saw 10, right? So I'll keep doing that for ages and ages, and I'll collect them all together and put them in a folder on the computer. They can sit there for months until I decide to do a new one. And then I've got all these things together on there. And then I just, then I'll have a bit of music that the music, again, hasn't really been searched for, so to speak. It'll be something, I like that. And then I will search for that and find it somewhere and check out the copyright things and all that business. Okay? Then I'll have an idea in my head where I want what to go. And then I'll literally put the music on the computer and I start pulling in the little bits of clips and what have you. And being I'm a little bit musical myself, I like to have the music change when the picture changes. You know, so everything must go at the same time. And then some of them you see fade from one to the other where the music's gone a bit. I have this idea in my head how I want it to look, and I will sit there until it looks right. And that 3-minute intro, was it 3 or 4 minutes? I think it's 4 minutes. That 4-minute intro took about 3.5 to 4 hours altogether. But to me, it's worth it. And then when you play it, you play it for the first time, and then you look at it. Okay, that looks all right. But then I play it on a big telly that I've got at home, like a 65-inch. Now, if there's anything wrong with it, you'll see it on the 65-inch. If you look at it in here, you can miss stuff. You know, perhaps that little clock in the corner just doesn't look right. It might be a little bit blurred out. In which case, I'll make it a little bit bigger, and then I'll be looking at something. Oh, what's that in the corner there? Might be something flashing in the corner. So I have to go back and redo that. But I will watch it. I'll upload it to YouTube as a private video, and then I'll watch it on a big telly, and then you can see if there's any faults on it, because I don't like faults. And I'll sit there and work on it until it's done. You know, sometimes till 4 in the morning, to be honest. Although I did that one, I did it in 2 bits. I did it Sunday afternoon and Sunday night, altogether about 3.5 to 4 hours. But I'm glad you like that. And I like to leave in the sound of the combine harvester and the Lancaster, as you heard there. That the Lancaster came, where that was taken was a place called Woodall Spa, where my sister lives, and they have a 1940s weekend every year. I think it's August. Is it August? It's in July. I can't remember. It's on one of the bank holidays, and you saw all the people there. This is like the main high street, and we were just minding our own business, going looking at things, and suddenly we heard this story. What the hell's that? And it was the bomber, so I got the camera out very quickly and I took it both ways, and that's come out really well. I mean, it's a bit difficult to see on there, but that plane was really low. I mean, really low. Had we have been a German town about to be bombed, they wouldn't have stood a chance, mate. They wouldn't have stood a chance. So I'm glad you like that. Good morning to Roy Brownlow. Good morning to Roy. Did you sort out your blurred picture problem, Roy? Because no one else had the problem. You were having a little bit of a problem with your monitor the other day, I think, weren't you, Roy? So good morning to you, sir. Morning to Michael Lawrence. Morning, Michael. Martin Edwards is loving the new intro. Thank you, Martin. Paul Gallagher loves the sound of the engines on that plane. You want to stand next to it when it's on the ground, mate. Oh, my God, the noise of these propellers going around. It's fantastic. Morning to Jason Hughes. Morning, Jason. No, there was no copyright. Well, there is, because I hadn't told them that I've got the permission for it. But quite frankly, you know, sometimes, as I say, with copyright issues, it's better to remove the problem completely than try and solve it, which I hope is what I've done there. They don't seem to pick up the shorter version at the end of the show for some reason, so there's no problems. I've got an email from David Arnold letting me use that piece of music. Maybe I'll contact them at some point and see how we get on with that, all right? Morning to Eric Mintzberg. Good morning to you. The Savage Garage. That's a cool name. Good morning to the Savage Garage on YouTube for the first time this morning. Morning to John Aitken. Hello, John. Jason enjoyed the karaoke last night. If you didn't see the karaoke on Facebook last night, where you usually watch it, that's because it's on another separate channel now. Okay, I will always put up a link to the karaoke channel on Facebook when it's on. If you're on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK, right, on the main page, you should see it on the bottom right hand side, I think it is. It says additional channels. One of those channels is Karaoke London. Click that, subscribe to that, and you'll get the little ping whenever we're doing a new karaoke thing. All right? Jason, get them 4 Happy Meals. Yeah, I wish. I wish. Sounds. I did say perhaps you want to go to McDonald's. I'll leave it entirely up to my nephew, whatever he wants to do. But there was a pub we went to a while ago, and we ain't going back there. It was 90 quid. 3 adults and 2 children and a little one. Well, the little one, she has her own food in bottles and stuff that she has to have squeezed directly into her stomach. But 2 children, 3 adults, 90 quid it was. Tattershall Castle, I think it was called, this pub. So we ain't going back there, mate. That's outrageous. I'm foolish, really. My niece, you see, she'd check out prices of places before she goes. She's really good. I don't do that. Like, we're going to Euro Disney. I promised them a holiday at Euro Disney. We should have gone like 2 years ago, but another baby came along. So the new baby came along, and I thought, well, best to wait a couple of years at least. Otherwise, you'll take a baby there. They won't know what the hell's going on, will they? Babies to have no idea what's going on. So he's a little bit older now. He's walking around and talking a little bit. So now is the time. So we're going there in March. Anyway, so we've done this booking, this, that, and the other. I'm paid the money and what have you. Deposit was. And then the next day I woke up in the morning and I'm just sitting watching BBC Breakfast Time on the news, and my phone bleeped, and it was my niece. She said, I've managed to I've got in contact with the holiday company that you booked that through, because we were moaning a bit about the price, you know. She said, by moving the date 1 week, we can save £800. So she did that. So it cost us £100 to move it, okay? But nevertheless, we saved 700 quid, because my niece is very good at that, looking to save money or pay less for stuff. See, I wouldn't do it. So we all went into this pub, the Tatchel, 90 quid for a bloody meal. That's outrageous, isn't it? We're not having any of that. Burger King or McDonald's, sunshine, or even better, the Trawler's Catch in Skegness. High value food for dirt cheap prices. That's what it is. Morning to David in Hemel. He's in Benidorm. He's just finished packing his 10 kilogram suitcase. Oh, you're on that bleeding Ryanair, are you? Are they flying today? Is anyone flying? British Airways are on strike. Ryanair, is anyone still in the air at the moment? Only the RAF that are flying over here at the moment doing their practicing, isn't it? Morning to Dave Holland. Good morning. Have you still got your loo rolls from this time last year? 1 year was up a few days ago, the 6th of September 2018. How do you remember that, Dave? Yes, I bought a load this year. I can't remember when, though, from Mr. Loo Rolls. I buy toilet rolls in bulk, massive amounts of them for like 30 quid, because they're really dear. You've been in like Sainsbury's and see how much like the large toilet roll things are. It's outrageous what they charge, isn't it? So, yes, I did. I'm on another load now. I can't remember when I bought them, though. Good morning to Wayne Martin, joining us there. Good morning, Wayne. Hello to, there's Wonder Woman. Liz is there. Tina McKenzie. Good morning, Tina. Welcome to our show. Gareth Loxton there again. Hello, Gareth. All right. Peekaboo. 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 Did you ever do that? Did you do that to your children? Peekaboo. Morning to Kate Doody. Good morning, Kate. Hope you got your email back there with your raffle ticket number this morning. There's Ray Reynolds. I hope you're feeling a little bit better today, Ray. You weren't too well last night, were you? Jason likes the sound of a rat burger. Oh, God, no. No, thank you. No, thank you. David, be careful on roofs. Remember Rod Hull? I reckon Emu pushed him. Yeah, Rod Hull. Do you remember him? The one with Emu? He killed himself, didn't he? He climbed up on his roof or climbed up the side of the house and fell off the roof, putting up a TV area or adjusting it or something. Awful. Morning to Mark. Michelangelo Mason. Morning. Tommy Flynn's in the house. I owe you an afternoon tea at the Mandarin. I don't remember promising you such a thing, Tommy. I'm sorry, dear. When did I promise you that? Answer, never. Never. I think you're clutching at straws there, Tommy, unless you can find some proof that I promised you that, because I don't remember saying that. How outrageous. And another one from Roy there. Chris owes me afternoon at Claridge's just for the fact of having my company. I don't think so, Roy. Look at you all on a freebie tonight, aren't you? Or this morning. Kate Doody has watched Scarborough yesterday. An excellent programme. It's really good. It's funny. It's like dry comedy. I love it. Absolutely love it. The first episode, of course, was on Friday night on BBC One Colour. 9:30 is the time for Scarborough on Fridays. Also available, of course, now on the BBC iPlayer. I don't know if they've uploaded them all to there, actually, or you just see the one that's already done, which is, of course, the first episode, written by that very talented friend of mine, Mr. Darren Litton, who we were so lucky on Sunday to have call into the show and talked a bit about his programme. So I'm glad you enjoyed that, Kate. Morning to Lewis Bannerman. Good morning, young Lewis. Hope you're doing all right there. Jason, the envelopes nowadays are rubbish for sealing. Yeah, I don't know what glue they use now. You know, it's just absolute. You've got to put a bit of tape on as well. They might as well not put the glue on these envelopes at all, to be honest. Morning to Adam the plumber. Morning, Adam. Roy says, I've seen copies of the fridge magnets on eBay Chinese sites. No, you haven't, Roy. Don't try and upset me. Jason's just sent money for the fridge magnet. OK, Jason, I'll check that later for you. I can't log into my PayPal account in case eyes are watching for my password going in. Yes. Hope you've got good passwords, people, on things like bank and all that. Don't use a memorable word. Use a string of letters, numbers and characters. You know, something like 2, capital B, small c, 1, 2... little star thing, little plus, positive sign. That's what you should do for passwords. No one's ever going to be able to guess those. Don't use, worst things you can use, children's or parents' names. Don't use those. People guess them. Okay? How many of you use your children's names? Yeah, exactly. Don't. Morning to Paul and Lou. Just got out of our middle class bed. Is there a dent in the middle? I can't understand. I keep getting dents in the middle of my bed. Why is that? Is that because I'm fat again now? Oh dear. Rachel Hurd this morning. Morning to Russ Philip Vernon. Good morning to you. Thank you. Mark says I don't need paying your company is enough. What to do? My doorman? What my what's it called? Not personal bouncer. Bodyguard. Bodyguard. All right, Mark. You can be my bodyguard because I can't have an ugly bodyguard. I can't be surrounded by ugly people. That's why I've selected you. Take that as a compliment, okay? You, if there's a bullet coming towards me, just get a metal tray or something and put it in front of me. Good morning to Emma Eady. Good morning, Emma. Sean, can you tell me why spiders? I'm getting so massive now. There's one last night was about a foot wide. I know what you mean by a foot wide spider. You always find them in the bath. Strangely enough, my sister's house is getting a lot of spiders in there at the moment. My younger nephew